Tatis, he's going to lead Sports Center. He's done it again. Another home run.
Welcome back to the Chasing 2 podcast. I'm Blake Friars alongside Dylan Smith, episode number 29. Dylan, the rivalry is kind of renewed here this weekend. Dodgers back in Houston. A lot of Dodgers fans made the trip to Houston. A lot of blue in that crowd. It's nice to see fans back in the stadiums and rivalries like this renewed.
Yeah, the place is packed. Obviously, the COVID restrictions are getting pretty light around here in the U.S. You know, you could either be on whatever side of the fence with that if you're happy about that or not. But it's good to see people back in the stands. Hopefully everybody stays healthy. Everything doesn't go backwards. That's my hope.
Right.
I'm a little scared about it, but you know, getting back into that baseball side of things, this is a really fun rivalry for the wrong reason, obviously.
Right.
But you know, it's good to see the Dodgers fans go out there and take over Minute Maid Park. You know, there's always that argument, I think, especially from Dusty Baker. Most of the team isn't the same team that cheated. Yes, but you still have Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve, and Alex Bregman. So 6 of those 26 guys, you know, 3 of them are core players.
Major part, yeah.
Yeah. So, obviously, it's there's some bad blood. I think the Dodgers still feel wronged. And they came to play. They lost last night in Bauer pitch, which was the one I circled on my calendar. So
for sure, yeah. Bauer's been open and honest about the Astros cheating scandal. Kind of, he made a few YouTube videos about it a few years back. And Carlos Correa touched him up, and so did Altuve last night, both solo homers. And Correa kind of hit that bomb into the Crawford boxes, kind of stared him down, and he's something else, man.
Carlos Correa, probably my least favorite baseball player in the league.
Yeah. He's good, though.
He reminds me so much of A-Rod. You know, there's pros and cons of A-Rod, but, you know, I feel like Correa falls on both sides of the pros and cons. Like he's just A-Rod 2.0. I'm not a big fan of him. But, you know what? It is what it is. Everybody's going to be different. Everybody's going to have their personalities.
Right.
And I don't know him. I'm sure if I knew him, maybe personally, that, you know, that changes some things.
And correct me if I'm wrong, though, there is still a lot of Dodgers on that team from the 2017 team, correct?
Yeah, Bellinger was there. Taylor was there. Kersh, obviously, that's the one that, you know, Kershaw went in there. They had a 6-0 lead, and all of a sudden the Astros just turned on against them.
Right. And
that was that crazy game. It was like 13-12.
13-12, yeah. And Brandon Morrow blew the game late. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say Kershaw pitched game 1 of that series.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he threw a gem.
Let me check here.
But I'm pretty sure they went there last year as well. But this is just the first year there with fans.
With fans, right?
Because the West played the West, so
right. Definitely brings a lot more energy when you got fans chanting, you know, cheaters, and you know, like Dodgers fans will be Dodgers fans. They love to have a good time, and it's
Kersh went 7 2/3, 1 earned run.
Yeah, like
so
yeah, vintage Kersh for sure. Dodgers.
So what do you have on this? Do you think they should, now that they won a World Series, do you think they should be over it?
Oh, the thing is, Dylan, it was 4 years ago. Like,
yeah,
eventually you got to get over it at some point. Obviously, it's tough though because it's a World Series that we're talking about, that they cheated. Obviously, like that's not great for the game, but I mean, I don't know. This was 4 years ago. Eventually, you got to get over it. Obviously,
I'm on the other side of the spectrum, to be honest with you.
I like, I don't know, man.
This is my take. This is my take on this. Okay, I don't care who the players were. It's
Right.
the name on the front of the jersey.
Yeah, for sure.
Forever, the Dodgers will hate the Astros.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be a 100-year thing.
Yeah.
Does not matter.
Right.
Okay, forever the Dodgers will hate the Astros.
Yeah.
Just like forever, I will always hate the White Sox because of AJ Pierzynski. You know what I mean?
That's a fair point. Yeah.
Like, AJ Pierzynski, I wouldn't say I hate the White Sox, but I will forever hate AJ Pierzynski as the ball player, not as a person, obviously.
Right.
As a kid, you know, being an Angels fan, getting gypped out of a World Series, you know, every single time AJ Pierzynski showed up to Angel Stadium for the rest of his career, he got booed louder than anybody, even A-Rod. Like, A-Rod, you know, Angels fans used to chant, A-Royd, A-Royd, you know.
No.
That was not even close to AJ Pierzynski's boos at Angel Stadium. So I think
the thing is, fans don't forget, and that's a prime example. What you just mentioned about Pierzynski. I mean, 4 years ago, fans are allowed back in the stadium, and they are all over the Dodgers, or they're all over the Astros, chanting cheaters. You saw the Yankees chanting FL Tuve. Like fans don't forget about that stuff, and Dusty Baker kind of saying, "Oh well, we don't deserve to be booed," blah blah blah. Dude, you cheated in a World Series. Like, I don't understand what. Like, I get that Dusty Baker wasn't there managing that team, but like you said, like 4 of the core players are still that cheated is still on that team. Obviously, Springer's in Toronto, but like the core is still there.
Yeah, I just think it's gonna be one of those things where it's like a team rival, like a franchise rivalry thing.
Yeah,
like down the road.
Gotcha.
Obviously, in 20 years, Bregman, Correa, and Altuve will be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Bellinger will be gone. Kersh will be gone. You know, all these players will be gone. But every single time the Dodgers play the Astros, it's still gonna be the Dodgers are playing the Astros.
Right.
You know, it's not gonna come every year.
Right.
So every 3 years, you're gonna get that rematch of the Dodgers and the Astros. And the fans are going to get into it, and that's good for the game.
Yeah, it's great for the game.
If you're going to take a pro from this, you know, bad situation, it's that it's good for the game that the fans are, engaged in this rivalry.
Yep.
But I'm trying to think of a couple more teams. It's kind of like they're rivals, but they're out of division.
Yankees, Mets.
Yeah, I mean the Subway Series. Yeah, I see that. Angels-Dodgers really, to me, isn't a rivalry. Mm-hmm. It's a fun series. Like, the fans have a rivalry, but like I don't think the players do.
Right. Let's see.
Trying to think who else.
Well, could you go
Texas and Blue Jays? I'm sure that when the Blue Jays play Texas, I'm sure they're still.
Well, not so much anymore because both teams haven't really. They have completely different teams. But man, when the Blue Jays knocked out Texas in 2015, they played each other first regular season game in 2016. It was like packed. Both like stadiums are packed, and
Bautista's getting punched in the face.
Punched in the face, and like it was just like so much stuff going on. Then they played each other in the DS in 16. Blue Jays swept them, and it was nuts, dude. For 2 years, it was only for like 2-3 years. It was a little nuts in 2017 too, but kind of died off after that. Another one would be maybe the 2 Chicagos.
Yeah, those don't really get heated. Obviously, we got the Red Sox and Yankees that will never change.
Right.
And one day they're gonna be back at it head to head. You know, and it's gonna be electric.
A rivalry that I think is going to get really big. It is already big. Is the Dodgers and the Padres? I think they're going to go at it. Like, I think that could be the next best rivalry in the MLB.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, it's going to be the longevity of it. It should be at least 6 years.
Right.
I'm sure the Padres will win some rounds and the Dodgers will win some rounds. I think the Padres will win an NL West title. In the next 6 years.
Okay.
They're on top right now, and they're only going to get better, and the Dodgers are aging. But the Dodgers also have the most money in the league.
Yep.
So I think we're on the same page here. I just don't think long term. I mean, the Padres aren't a winning franchise.
Right. Not yet.
Not right now.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
so
right.
it's kind of hard. Like, obviously, the Red Sox weren't a winning franchise either, but they were a prestige franchise.
Yeah.
Like, they had been around for 100 years.
Yep. Yep.
Obviously, things can change over time.
They got what, 4 rings since 2004?
Yeah.
2004, 2007, 2013, 2018, or 2019.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's talk about a big bat that the Dodgers could potentially getting back is Cody Bellinger. He's might return on Saturday, which we're recording this on a Thursday. We're going to release on tomorrow. So yeah, what do you think of the Dodgers getting Bellinger back potentially this weekend?
I mean, huge pickup. I mean, it's basically like
trading for an
MVP.
Yep.
I mean, Belly. We'll see what Belly we get. You know, he struggled a little bit last year.
Yeah.
But, you know, he looked good in spring this year. And then obviously in that Rockies first series, he was doing well also. He even got that homer taken away because he rounded Turner.
He rounded Turner. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
That was pretty weird.
I mean, you're picking up an MVP type player. It's definitely going to be a pick-me-up. Things are close right now with San Francisco and San Diego.
Last year, Bellinger 12 homers, 30 RBI. He had 239. OPS a tick under 800. So, I mean, he was still a big part of that World Series team last year. So,
well, yeah, and he got going in the playoffs.
He did.
He had a good playoffs.
He did have good playoffs. Let's talk about Tampa Bay Rays. Sit atop first place in the AL East and a division right now that is probably the most competitive, I would say. Like right now, like every team except the Orioles has a positive run differential. The Rays won 11 in a row, lost one to, or maybe they lost 2 to Kansas City, then they just won their last one. But the Rays scored 92 runs in 11 games. I mean, wherever you're scoring about 10 runs a game, odds are you're going to win a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, this team offensively on paper, it doesn't look good.
No.
They came and swept the Angels, so I saw them firsthand. They can pitch it.
Jays.
They could pitch it for sure.
Yep.
And another thing is, to me, they're good at just taking advantage of teams' mistakes.
Yep. That's what they did.
And I think that's correlating to their winning streak. I don't think they're really dominating anybody.
No,
it's just they're capitalizing, having timely hits after mistakes.
Yep.
So I mean that's what good teams do, though. You know, I'm not taking any credit away from their 9-game or 11-game win streak.
I mean, at the end of
but if you go back and you look at most of those games, you can pinpoint one spot where the game got away from the other team.
Don't even get me going on the Jays, bro, with that against Tampa, man. Jays got swept 4-game series to them, but they gave up 7 unearned runs in 4 games, 5 in 1 game. They lost in extras the 1 game. Like they just gave the Rays 2 wins. Like it's like you can't be giving the Rays wins, man, because they're gonna take advantage of that every time.
Yeah, and their pitching's good enough, even without Snell and Morton. It's good enough. McClanahan just came up. McClanahan's been lights. He's been lights.
Go look at their stats here.
Glasnow's been lights.
What do you think of Glasnow's comments about the Blue Jays?
I haven't really read into it. I'm hoping like John Boy does something on it.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure maybe he could find. I'm sure he's digging right now.
Right.
And maybe he even came out with something. I haven't seen it yet.
Right.
I don't think he has, but he might be digging.
I don't know. Like the Jays have faced Glasnow twice this year already, and they've chased him before the 4th inning of both starts. So I don't know. Like,
but they're the only team to do that. And he's been shoving against everybody else.
One start was in Tampa. One start was in Dunedin. So like, I don't know what is.
Hey, that's your Cy Young, man.
He might be reaching a little bit there, but the Jays did have.
You chose him for Cy Young this year.
The Jays did have that was my sleeper. No, I didn't. He wasn't in my top 3. He was my sleeper.
It's, you know what? I was giving you crap about it. It hasn't been a terrible pick.
He's been pretty good this year, other than those 2 starts to Toronto.
Oh yeah, because he hasn't been walking guys.
Right, and he added that slider too, which has really helped him.
Yeah, before he'd get himself into trouble.
Glad
I'm trying to look at 2.57 ERA.
Yep,
very respectable. That's an all-star caliber player.
Yeah, and he's got 98 strikeouts in 70 innings. Like, that's pretty dang good.
Trying to see his walks real quick here.
He has 23 walks. 23 walks to 98 strikeouts.
In 70 innings.
In 70 innings. So is that a good ratio for walks?
I mean, I thought it was gonna be lower. It's not terrible. But 23 walks.
I'm gonna go look at his 2 starts against Toronto just to see what this guy's talking about.
I'm trying to go look at his game logs right now to see how many walks he's given like a game.
2, 1, 1, 4, 4, 2, 2.
Yeah, so he's still walking a lot of guys.
Yeah. In May,
he's had 3 games where he's walked 4 guys.
Yeah.
And his opponent batting average in those games, April 17th against the Yankees, 108 average. Angels, 151. And Oakland, 146. And he dealt those games. He gave 3 runs in that one, 3 runs against the Angels, and 1 run against the Yankees.
Yeah, the only really bad start, the Jays touched him up for 5 runs in both of his starts against them.
Basically, all this means is if he can keep the walks under 2 a game, he's going to give up less than 2 runs. That's what it looks like.
And he's going to strike out 8 to 10 a game.
Yeah.
Like he's having a really good season. What else can we talk about here? Corey Kluber out 2 months with a shoulder strain. More bad luck for Kluber and the Yankees. Kluber obviously had a shoulder problem last year, only pitched 2 innings with Texas. He was out the previous year with the Indians. So this guy just can't stay healthy. He was actually having a really good season. 53 and a third innings pitched, 4-3 record, 3.04 ERA. And he left after 2 innings Tuesday against the Jays. So I knew something was up because he was actually having a really good start against the Jays. And, just not good for the Kluber and the Yanks.
Yeah, his career might be in jeopardy. I mean, think about just going from high to low. I mean, you just threw a no-hitter a week ago.
You're out 2 months.
Yeah, and now you're out 2 months back on the shelf. So
it's 35.
It sucks for Kluber. For sure. This might be at some point. I feel like as an athlete, it's not. I've gone through injury before. Obviously, my foot surgery. Yeah. You get to the point where rehabbing,
it's not worth it anymore.
It's tiring.
Right.
It's tiring.
Right.
And sometimes things just don't work anymore, and it's hard to just hang them up. It's really hard.
Right.
But this might be a situation, and I don't know where Kluber's at mentally after this injury.
That'd be tough.
I'm sure he'll try to finish out this season, but going forward, depending on how much more he thinks he has in the tank, he might say, you know what, this is getting tiring. This is getting too much.
And he's going to be 36 next year.
I'm rehabbing more than I am playing the game.
Right.
Right. And that's when it doesn't get fun anymore.
Yeah.
Obviously, these guys are MLB players for a reason. They're mentally tough.
Right.
So when you have that mental toughness, you want to keep pushing and keep going. But it does get tiring. The emotional damage it does on you as well. It could take a toll on your play. It could take a toll on the rehab. So I'm not sure. It sucks for the Yankees. And also Luke Voigt just went back on the IL today. Hamstring, I believe.
They got DJ LeMahieu back off the paternity list today for the doubleheader. But yeah, Luke Voigt, another big loss. That's
They just got him back a week ago, or 2 weeks ago.
Is it
Now he's gone
a different
again.
injury or is it the same?
Different injury.
Okay, gotcha.
And Giancarlo, he's on the IL.
That guy's nickname.
So they're getting banged. They're getting banged up.
That guy's nickname is Band-Aid.
Don't be surprised to see the Yankees make a deal quickly here.
For an outfielder?
No, for a starting pitcher.
Who do you think you could see landing there? All right, we're gonna talk about this in a couple of weeks, but sorry to put you on the spot.
On top of my head, Andrew Heaney. I could see a guy they had.
Danny Duffy.
He's hurt right now.
Oh, he is hurt. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Maybe a Mad Bum. Arizona's out.
Yeah.
Arizona's out. Maybe Kyle Gibson.
Or yeah. See it.
I'm thinking these teams that.
What about like
the Angel season isn't over, but
what about like a Matt Harvey?
Hang in. No, do not do that.
No, he's having a decent year this year, isn't he? In Baltimore.
Well, why not? A Matt Shoemaker from Minnesota?
Yeah. I think he signed a 2-year deal too. Maybe not. Maybe.
So I'm thinking teams that I'm thinking they just need a plug and play guy.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's going to be like Clark Schmidt or something's coming up. I don't know what move they're making.
Yeah, Clark Schmidt came up last year, correct?
Yeah, I think he only pitched in the bullpen. I don't remember him starting.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on for the Yankees if they do go out, if they call up somebody in-house, in system, or if they go out and make that deal. That'd be something to keep an eye on for sure. One injury to another. Bad luck for Ozuna. The Braves left fielder out 4 to 6 weeks, 2 fractured fingers. This year, 213 average, 7 homers, 26 RBI, and his OPS 645. So he's not off to a good start, but it's still a potent bat in that lineup that's going to be gone for an extended period of time.
Yeah, and he started to heat up lately. I've been seeing those selfie homers. So this is their guy. They obviously just gave him a big free agent
4-year deal
contract. So it sucks if you're a Braves fan, but you gotta get him right. Hopefully there's gonna be the DH in there next year.
Yep.
And I'm sure that's what they're thinking is like universal DH we're getting next year. Put Ozuna out there. He's not a good outfielder.
We'll get 3 years of Ozuna at DH, but essentially
And all he did was DH last year.
Yeah.
And he lit up the league.
He raked. Yeah.
So maybe it's one of those things where he's playing defense now. Can't stay focused. I don't know, but they're gonna have to make some type of acquisition because they're banged too.
Yeah. Travis d'Arnaud, he's on the 60-day DL.
Freed, right? Hurt.
Freed. I think so. Yeah, he's dated.
Noah broke his hand.
Yep.
Soroka got pushed back to 60.
Yep. Let me see here. Austin Riley's really picked it up for them the last month.
Yeah.
He's hitting 313. He's up to 10 bombs. OPS is almost 1,000.
Might just be Pablo's season, huh?
Where are you gonna play him?
Just play him at third base
and put Riley in the outfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be Pablo's season.
The bats he's been a really good pinch hitter this year. I could definitely see him sliding over to third base, putting Riley in the outfield. It gives them a little more depth, but we talked about the Braves offense earlier this season. Albie's still batting 233. Freeman's still batting 240. He's starting to heat up. He's got 12 homers. Acuna, obviously 280 average, 15 bombs. He's still going, but this team needs to get going. I'm
just waiting for these trades to start happening.
Yeah, I know.
There's no reason to wait. Think about your team, my team. There's no reason why John Jays should be getting at bats. There's no reason why Espinal should be getting ABs for you guys. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You're telling me. You don't need to tell me.
Like, let's just get it going here. Like, if you really want to go do this thing, the Angels are 500, under 500 without Trout. Okay?
Yeah.
Go trade for a Jock Peterson. Go trade for a Brian Goodwin from Pittsburgh.
Right.
Go, like, it's going to cost you nothing.
Yeah.
Okay? Where's the Cubs at? They're in first place somehow. I am flabbergasted.
They are?
Yeah.
We've been living under a rock?
Apparently. Milwaukee's fell off. St. Louis fell off. And the
Cubs are 20. So they're 8-2 in their last 10.
Four-game win streak.
They were in fourth place 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So maybe not Jock, but
definitely.
I mean, Arizona's got David Peralta.
Yeah.
Like that's a little bit more pricier, but there's teams out here. I mean, Detroit's got like Robbie Grossman. Like what? Like why isn't a team going and getting?
What about your guy Charlie Blackmon?
Too much money. That's a deadline deal. I'm talking.
Oh, you're talking right now.
A trade, like a Michael A. Taylor.
Yeah.
Like, does Kansas City really think that they're going to win the division, even though they're 4.5 games back?
Probably not.
Michael Taylor, I'm pretty sure, started off pretty hot.
And he's only getting $1 million.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, why are these teams letting John Jay play? Like, let me show you something.
Well, Espinal's getting ABs because Abizio's on the DL, but
let me show you something real quick. I'm about to go on a rant in a second.
Brace yourselves, everybody.
Yeah. I'm trying to do this as quick as I can. Okay. Let's put out April. Let's look at opening day. Okay, opening day. You ready?
Yep.
This was the Angels opening day lineup. Fletcher, Ohtani, Trout, Rendon, Upton, Pujols, Iglesias, Stassi, Fowler.
Pretty good.
Okay. First 2 weeks, one of the best teams in baseball. Now let's go to their lineup
yesterday
against, let's say, the A's this past weekend. Okay. Upton, Phil Gosselin, Rendon, Juan Lagares, Iglesias, Walsh, Ward, Drew Butera, Fletcher. And that's not even one of the worst ones.
Walsh didn't start opening day for them?
No, I'd say that respect to Albert. Give him that.
Right.
Give him that.
Right.
But just let's think about this. Yes, we got Walsh. We got Rendon.
Yeah.
Okay, we got
Walsh
Ohtani.
has been really good.
Look around. Fletcher hurt.
I think
Fletcher got hurt
in that lineup, buddy.
Dude, there was a lineup that got put out. The Salt Lake Bees.
Oh,
they should have just put Salt Lake Bees versus Houston Astros.
Yeah.
But the Angels are not the only team doing this. Like, the Angels are not the only team that's banged up and are just running out this bad depth.
Right.
And we're only a quarter away through the season.
Yeah.
Like, the Angel season is not over, but it could be over in 1 week.
Yeah. Let's talk about a former Angels pitching coach, Mickey Callaway, suspended until 2022, where he can try to get reinstated and try to search for another job within the MLB. He was officially fired from the Angels yesterday, which would have been Wednesday. We're recording this on a Thursday. This is a no-brainer for the MLB. I don't see this guy ever getting a job in a MLB again. I think this guy's done. What he did was really uncomfortable and really inappropriate. So I think the MLB just suspended him a year, and I don't think he's getting a job again. What do you think on this? What do you say?
I don't think he gets a job again. I guess the investigation didn't show anything that serious.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say not that serious, but
Right.
as serious as Roberto Alomar getting
Right.
like banned from the league entirely.
Right.
So
Yeah, that was
we've seen the text messages of him sending like construction pictures and
shirtless and
pretty
pretty weird.
weird stuff.
And like
Yeah,
inviting girls for drinks to tell them info about the team.
that's wrong. That's
like,
just
that's so messed up.
when you're part of a baseball like fraternity, there's some things where you just don't ever talk about them.
No, 100%.
I mean, fans have to understand this. There are things in clubhouses, and I'm sure they understand this, but they will never be spoken of.
Yeah, what
You
stays in the
just keep your
clubhouse
mouth-
stays
you-
in this clubhouse.
You keep it your mouth shut. You
Mhm.
don't go out. You don't go tell people. So
Yep.
So for the manager of the team, willing to toss out information to try to
Sleep with a girl.
sleep with girls, it's a bad look. And you
So
can't go
was
back from
he
that.
the manager when they went to the World Series?
No, that was Terry Collins.
Right. We'll end the show. We gotta talk about Vlad Jr. What this man is doing is incredible. Tied for the league in homers. He's first in OPS, tied for third in RBIs. He's fourth in average, batting .337. Like you said, this guy was probably the most hyped up prospect since Harper. You said, I think.
Yeah.
And the Jays signed this guy as a 15-year-old, and he's finally putting it together, right? He's having good approaches. He's not chasing as much. And honestly, bro, like I go on my phone during the Jays game sometimes, and when Vlad's up, I ain't going on my phone because this guy, every time he's at the plate, something happens. It's crazy.
Yeah. I think he's right there for MVP. Trying to think. I mean, Otani's in there.
Mhm.
Vlad's in there. Somebody I'm missing, the AL? I don't know.
I honestly think it's a two-man race.
I might even toss Adolis Garcia's name around, but he plays for such a crap team. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not a big market,
He is having a really good year. I think he has 15 homers.
He hit a 16th yesterday. I think he tied Vlad.
I think you're right.
So
yeah.
Adolis Garcia, watch out for him. I was telling Blake, it's about Vlad, but for 1 sec, I was telling Blake, 2 years ago I saw this guy and I knew this guy was going to hit bombs.
Right.
Like,
on a side note here, he was in the Cardinals organization.
Yeah.
The Cardinals let go Adolis Garcia. They DFA'd him. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they traded Randy Arozarena. Could you imagine what that Cardinals outfield would look like if they just kind of held on to these prospects?
Well, you have to look at the type of player that the Cardinals build up, and that's usually like the speedy contact guy.
Right.
Arozarena does have some speed, but he's not the greatest defensively, and he wasn't the Randy that he is now at Tampa.
Right.
Adolis always had that power, but not the contact tool.
Right.
Look at who their outfield is. They're trying to get those contact tool guys.
I mean, like O'Neill and who else they have out there? They have Carlson. And
Carlson's going to be a really good player.
He's a good switch hitter. Yeah, 100%.
But back to Vlad. Vlad is hot. Vlad is the best hitter in baseball right now over the past month.
Yep.
And we'll see. This is what everybody wants to see. I think this year baseball's getting some
young
good
talent.
looks. Yeah, I mean, we've been waiting for Otani to do this for 3 years.
Yep.
We've been waiting for Vlad for the past 2.
Yep.
Show us this minor league Vlad that just crushes the ball no matter who's on the mound.
Yep.
We've been waiting for, Giants fans, Buster Posey to come back, and now he's probably going to be an all-star. He's tearing up the league.
Yeah.
Which nobody could have expected.
Right.
So we're getting a little bit of storyline.
Yeah.
A little bit of storyline.
100%.
And each player's kind of having their own path this year. I feel like more than other years for some reason.
Yep.
But yeah, it's been good to see Jed Lowry back in Oakland. Like he only does it in Oakland.
Yep.
I'm just going down the list here. I'm just looking at teams. JD Martinez back on top.
Yep.
Crushing the ball from last year. You got what's his name from I'm blanking right now.
What team?
I'm blanking right now. Philly. McCutchen.
Oh, McCutchen,
McCutchen's
yeah.
going off. He's been hot. Sorry. Couldn't
Yep.
think right now. We're getting these like individual players that are just Matt Boyd tearing up the league, even though his Detroit Tigers are 19-30. I mean, he's been unreal. We've been waiting for 5 years for Matt Boyd to be this guy.
Yeah, he was a top prospect with the Blue Jays, and he was in that David Price deal. He's really starting to figure it out.
So I just feel like my main point is we're getting a lot of guys, either big name or non-big name, that are having their own individual seasons that we did not expect. Like you're expecting the Trouts, you're expecting the Mookies, Acuna and Soto to go off.
Right.
But we weren't expecting Trent Grisham to be an impact player on the Padres, 2 years ago.
Right.
And now he is. So
let's just tell the listeners. Do you want to tell the listeners a segment that we're going to be starting up in a couple of weeks involving the Hall of Fame active players? You want to tell the listeners?
Yeah, so we're going to do Hall of Fame profile. We're going to pick one player. Probably going to be on a light week if not much is going on. We're going to just implement this to kind of get our perspective on guys. For example, we might choose like an Jose Altuve, okay? And we're going to debate whether in the end he will be a Hall of Famer or not. Obviously, there's going to be the cheating debacle. We can get into a lot of stuff with that.
Right.
So we're probably not going to start with Altuve. We'll probably start with like a Mad Bum. That would be a good one to start with.
Yep.
Or even maybe Bryce Harper. So we're gonna start getting a little player profile. We're gonna start comparing them with other Hall of Famers that have gotten in there, similar type players, and we're gonna predict and we're gonna make our statement on whether or not those guys are gonna be a Hall of Famer. So it should be pretty fun.
I like
Hopefully
that.
we can track that. We can put it out and see what everybody thinks.
Yeah. You got anything for the final out?
I don't got much. Who's going today? Who's the game of the day here?
Free game of the day? Let's check it out.
Not free game of the day. Not free game. Who is the game? What's the game to watch?
Well, my final out is the Blue Jays top pitching prospect just got called up. He's pitching against the Yankees actually right now. It just started. Alec Manoah. The Jays need pitching help big time. They're blowing 5 of their last 6 games from the pen, so they need some starters to pick it up for them. They got a doubleheader today. Manoah and Ray are going for the Jays, and Herman and Montgomery for the Yankees. Another game, obviously.
I think Giants Dodgers
would be good.
Good series. Watch that, guys. San Francisco needs to win some games here against the Dodgers. They just got swept.
Well, obviously the Angels game, Ohtani's on the mound.
Yeah, Ohtani's on the mound tonight, but by the time this comes out, you're going to know the outcome of that.
Yep.
Not really. I guess you can say it's a series to watch if you're an Angels fan.
Right.
Oakland is currently 6 games up on the Angels, playing a 4-game set. If God sends a miracle, the Angels could sweep and be back in it. So
Padres open up a series with Astros tomorrow. That'll be a decent series. Braves Mets will be a decent series. And in terms of, there's not very many other good series out there this week.
Next week we're gonna be going back to power rankings for the month of May.
Yep.
Month of May is gonna be over.
Yep.
I'm expecting lots of teams to be back right where they started. Kansas City got a big bump after April.
Yep.
Just based off of April power rankings, they are going to probably be back around where they started. Lots of teams are going to be moving around. I could tell just looking at it. Seattle's going to get the drop. The Angels definitely going to get the drop. Tampa's going to get a push.
The biggest risers were San Francisco, Seattle, Kansas City, and Boston, and the biggest downfall was the Yankees, Twins, and Braves. So
yeah, and the Braves should be moving more back into the middle of the pack now.
yeah, 100%.
But yeah, that's all I got.
Subscribe to us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, we're on Google Podcasts, we're on Spotify. So if you guys can check us out there, we're gonna record preferably every Thursday, release every Friday if both of our schedules kind of match up. I know you're busy with your U13 baseball team at times, but appreciate you guys for tuning in to every episode, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right, guys, take care.